Hello and Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Amir Ashraf bin Azhar from class HM2413D1. Will be presenting my persuasive speech with the title of Conducting a Study Group Can Improve Our Academic Status. Before we are going through into the main point of study group, let me ask you a few simple questions. Are you guys always studying alone? How that method improve your academic result? Do you guys have involved in study group? How does it feel? Some of you guys maybe have involved in participating a study group, but many of you guys always studying by yourself. Am I right? A study group is a small group of people who regularly meet to discuss shared fields of study. These groups can be found in a high school or university setting, within companies, occasionally primary or junior school, and sometimes middle school. Professional advancement organizations also may encourage study group. To put into a simple word, every categories of people tend to do a study group, and it is not exclusively need to be done by the students only, but many students do not involving themselves to do it. If we take a look at testimony, many students tend to say that they prefer to study with their friends as a form of study group. However, if we take more closer, we will notice it was a vice versa compared to their statement. Based on the research that has been made by Faculty Focus and been published in May 2018, a cohort of 400 undergraduates enrolled at 38 different institutions and majored in 5 different fields have been selected to answer the survey. And the results from the surveys are really shocking because according to the survey, almost 70% of students said that a study group is a good method to study, but only 20% said they prefer to form a study group. Meanwhile, 50% of them said they would mostly prefer to study alone. From the majority of students that said study group is a good method in achieving a great academic result, only a small group of them that are applying the method. With that survey, we can see how conducting a study group is not a popular choice of students to study. So I stand here today to convince everyone here to realize conducting a study group will improve our academic status and a good method rather than studying alone. So you guys already know the concept of study group and its problem that happen among students. Now I want to go to the next phase of my speech, which is the reason for students to conducting a study group. What exactly are the reasons for students to conducting this study group? The first reason for students need to conducting or participating a study group is to gaining a better understanding of the subject even better. There is no argument that taking time to read, learn and study a subject or theory will lead to a greater understanding of the particular subject. Actively engaging with the material, learning together and genuinely knowing a subject, students can feel empowered and motivated to do well in the classroom as a group. Learning is a different experience for each person. Students can hear different perspectives on the subject and therefore understand it from more than position. This is useful in real-world settings where more than one solution or opinion bolsters creative and analytical thinking. With the perfect creative and analytical thinking that also has been stated by the Education Ministry for every student need to have, it is best believed that the academic result for students can be improved. The next reason for students to participate in a study group is all students that have been involved in the study group will motivate and inspire one another. Having trouble getting through a difficult class? Well, a bit more support can go a long way. Within a group, students can not only motivate one another to do well, but they will also have the chance to form a strong, long-lasting friendship. Accountability is an important factor for success no matter the task. Applying this to your studies for excellent result to find your receiving academic honors, scholarship or internship upon graduation. Having others challenge you to be the best version of yourself is a wonderful opportunity that even something as a simple study group can provide. And finally, the last reason I will give for students to conduct a study group is that students can maintain their own personal responsibilities. Study group should allow each student to share ideas and thoughts about particular subject. Depending on the group dynamic, students may even give a small presentation that can be highly beneficial to the learning process. Students who are going to present before the study groups are less likely to forget to do their reading because they don't want to be embarrassed in front of their peers. Some college students can find themselves to be naturally rebellious toward authority figures. This rebellious attitude can lead them to feel frustrated with academic assignments. However, the added responsibility of studying with a group of peers and without the influence of an elder figure can enable the students to feel more to appreciate, just promoting responsibility, education and team building. Plus, the added responsibility of studying with a group of peers without the influence of other figure can enable the students to feel more pressure. According to the research that published in the June 2005 issue of Linguistics and Education by Kate Sewer, that this looking up contributes to the individual pattern. so that by the end of the study group session, when each of the students is looking up, the conversation is much more free-flowing and conversational, and they are beginning to more easily grasp the material. I already discussed with you guys reason for why students need to conduct a study group. Now I will tell you guys the effects of study group for students in their academic. Every positive activity will always have their positive effect, including activity of study group. The first effect of study group towards students is by working together. Students in study group can generally learn from students working alone. For instance, some part of the textbook that seems completely confusing to you could be quite clear to another student. In study group, you can learn quickly by simply asking a question instead of spending valuable time puzzling over the difficulty alone. In addition, you can help your fellow students when they have difficulty understanding something that you do understand. The next effect of study group is attending students cannot procrastinate due to the study group that need to be made at that time. If alone, a student might postpone studying until the night before class or method of learning even longer. With a study group, however, students must be present at a specific time and they must be prepared to contribute to the study session. You will stay on top of your subject throughout the semester or your plus one when exam time roll around. If you struggle with procrastination, and many of us do, a study group might just be the solution for you. Lastly, the effect of study group towards students in the academic, students can learn a new study skill. As you learn new perspective about your subject, you can also find newly study technique to learn. Students develop their own study methods over their years in school. While yours may work excellently, you can still find ways to improve your learning abilities and sharpen your mind. By joining a study group, you will have the opportunity to observe a wide variety of study methods in action. After considering the pros and cons, you can improve your own study regimen by incorporating the best methods into your own. Now we can see how effective study group is in improving a great academic quality to students. How we can start to conduct a conducive study group. The effective step to conduct a better study group is by finding your suitable study partner. The first step to forming an effective study group is to find classmates who are also interested in teaming up. First, find out if there is already an established study group in your class. If there isn't, you can get the ball rolling by asking the people around you if they like to participate. You can also use class communication system to ask if anyone wants to join. Not everyone in the class needs to be a part of your group. Even one or two people can be enough to benefit from. It's a first starting up after all. The next step you can conclude to make a better study group is by choosing a better location to study. A productive space is crucial for a well-functioning study group. Libraries, student lounge, and other shared workspace can help each member of your group channel to their most productive attitude. A dorm room or home can work if the space is quiet and free from distraction. And finally, the last step I can give for students to conduct a better study group is by giving a whole group a reward for each student study group session. Staying motivated to meet a study group can sometimes be difficult, but planning session or a social event activity can be a great reward for the group. If your group is made for sports fans, set aside time to study first so you can reward yourself by watching the big game right after you finish. Or if your group is more into movies, plan a movie marathon scheduled to keep everyone looking forward to the next study session. With that, you guys will always have encouragement to start another session of study group. With all the speech that I have talked right now, I can fully believe and say that conducting a study group among the students with their friends is better than studying alone. From this speech, I can conclude that conducting a study group can improve our academic status, since the activity of study group has many benefits that can give students their positive academic results and status, thus will helping them in the future. Having a productive study space to work in can make a real difference in your grade, and the successful study group can often carry over after your learning experience. And with that being said, there are many methods for you to make a learning become fun. That is for sure. But trying a method of study group is not harming anyone. Now we are reaching to the end of my speech. I hope everyone can take information that I give to you guys as much as you can. Hope we can meet again. Bye everyone, and remember, be a smart student and you have fun with your study group.